everyone. I hope your day is going really well. Today I want to show you Zigzag binding books. They're an accordion fold, and I actually have been using this style over years to do all kinds of books. A couple of them are memory books. Some of them were for school. Some books I created for Anne or did with my school classes. And so these are super easy and can be used for any number of things. And you can actually make them quite a bit bigger. And so they're kind of a versatile book. And so I'm going to show you some completed ones when we're all done. And so stay tuned for that. And let's just go through how to make these. So I have several pieces of paper, a nice heavy cardstock. This is probably close to 100 pounds. And this I cut at 4 by 5. And then I have another piece that's lighter, more like 80 pounds. And that's cut at 4 inches. And just the width of the paper, because I'll trim it off based on how wide I want the book. And then these papers are cut at 4 by 4 and like 7/8, just slightly shorter than the piece that I did for the cover. And there's a reason for that, and I'll show you that in just a minute. So that's all you need is a bunch of paper, and it helps to have a scoreboard. The earlier ones I did without a scoreboard. You just have to be very precise with your folding. And so you can decide how deep you want that, that holder part. And so on this one, you can see I did a full inch. This one is probably closer to a ½ inch. I'm going to go basically 3/4, and I'm just going to do a series of scores. So 3/4, and then 1 1/2, and then 2 1/4. And I'm just going to just keep scoring at 3/4, and then 3 and 3 3/4, and 4 1/2. And then let's go 5 1/4. So that gives me 7 folds. I'm going to work those folds. And as I'm folding, I'm going to really pay attention to keeping that paper straight. And I'm just going to keep folding and lining up these sides. And then I'm making sure that my paper is laying straight. And then I'm going to use this last piece as my binding. So now I'm going to line this up so that my last fold is on the ½ inch mark, and then that last bit will be at a ½ inch. And then I'll worry about my binding in just a minute. And I'm just going to start zigzagging those folds back and forth into an accordion fold. And I'm just going to check that it's pretty much straight. It's not going to be perfect. That's just kind of the nature of these books. And then what I'm going to do is get my cover. And so I'm going to go ahead and just start in with that and put my cover here and then my cover here. And I'm going to apply a good amount of glue. Now, when I did those earlier books, I did them using like a tape runner. And I had to, a few years later, go back through and use a glue like this, a liquid glue, to get them back together because they basically fell apart. So I'm gluing that first one there and this one here, and you'll see I cut it a little wrong. I'm not quite used to that new cutter, but that's okay because it's really not going to matter at all. And if your paper is directional, which this is not, you'd have to make sure you're paying attention to the direction the paper is going. There. And so this is a book that's going to have 1, 2, 3 pages in it. And now I'm going to go back through. It doesn't matter to me which is the front, which is the back. So, and you'll see why this little deep thing that I kind of tore the paper a little bit isn't going to matter very much, because I'm just going to put a bunch of glue on either side of that first mountain fold. So now I'm going to go ahead and line up my first page and get it right in that glue. And then I'm going to bring my next page, put it in the glue, and line these pages up. And then I'm going to go ahead and push that down. And then I'm just going to do that to this page and that one. As I go, I'm just making sure this all lines up. And I'm moving kind of quickly just for the sake of the video. And of course, when you do it, you'll be probably way more careful than I have been. Okay, now I can come back through, and I generally use a tape runner for this part. If I want to glue pages together, which is, you know, what you're going to do, and that also makes it nice and thick. Okay, and just push them together, and then we'll go to the next two that are sharing that fold. Carefully make sure you get all of your edges. All right, so you get the idea of how that goes together. Now, if you don't do anything about the back, you've got this problem. And so first off, what we're going to do is go ahead and go through and glue all of those creases together. And I can see that the total of this is probably, it's no more than 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to bring this in, and I'm going to measure, I think I'm going to do a line right at about 1 1/8. And I think this is about 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to come at 1 3/8. And then that's going to be the thickness of my spine. So it'll go just like that. And I'll have just a nice, neat, tidy spine. And I can see I need to trim this off. If I want the front even with the back, I'm going to need to trim that just a bit. Now it's time to glue that down. So I can go ahead and put glue on the whole thing, including that back area. I got that a little crooked, I see. I'm not used to that paper cutter. All right, and then I'm gonna slide that right in, glue it down, keep it as straight as I can. There we go. I like how that looks. And there you have your whole book. So there you go. It's very easy enough for school kids to do, and just create your little book. Okay, so now let me show you some of the books we've made. This is just a blank one I haven't done yet. This also makes me think about, it's good to use two-sided paper for the pieces you use for the cover, because then you don't have to do anything more with the cover. So those are just blank books. This one is a little book I wrote with the kids in my school class called A Cat in the Sun. We were talking about what makes a complete sentence, what doesn't. So then we wrote this little story, and this is a progressive story and helps beginning readers. So this was with my first graders. We talk about that you've got a subject and a verb, so that's a complete sentence. If it was just a cat, that's not complete. And then the kids, as we create these books, and then they draw their own pictures. And then we go to the next one, which is A Cat Sat in the Sun. And so then we talk about prepositions and all of those other things, and they can draw their picture. And then we keep progressing the story. And what's good for new readers is they have some confidence, because as they read these words over and over and over, they get quicker at that part, and then they only have to figure out that end part. A cat sat in the sun on a log, and then they add that to the picture, and then here's the end of it. A cat sat in the sun on a log after lunch. And so then they would draw their lunch bag or whatever. That's a progressive story. We would write them together as a class, and then the kids would have a little book that they would make and could take home. I generally printed the story for them so that it was written in a way that they could easily read. And then they had a little book that they could take home. And we actually had several of these. And we did different ones for different seasons. We would start with The Snow Fell, and then that story just keeps progressing. So this is a book I made years and years ago for Anne when she was a new reader, and I wanted her to become confident in reading, and she did. And everybody told me a child with Down syndrome will never learn to read. That is not true. And we had a lot of fun creating these little books. So this was Fun in the Snow. And what I did is I went outside and we just took pictures of the kids, of our whole family, playing in the snow and doing fun things. And everybody got their pictures taken. And it just was a fun little book that we created for Anne. Anne loved reading this book. And it was good because it helped her learn to read everybody's names, and we just kept repeating plays in the snow. Then when we get to this page, we do something different in the snow, and then there's sort of our ending story. She loved this book, and we read it over and over and over. So that's just a fun idea. If you are a homeschooler, that's a great way to get your children engaged in reading something that they can identify with. And then another fun thing I did, I took that same zigzag binding and created a little memory album. This, of course, is from years ago when Anne had a chance to go to a play to see Beauty and the Beast. And she invited a friend to come with her. So while we were there, we took pictures, and then I made this little book of her going to see Beauty and the Beast, and then we went for ice cream. Well, eventually Anne was able to read this book all on her own, but it created such a fun memory book. That is from 2006. Wow. And then here's another one. This was such a success that we had another little adventure with her cousin going to see a pioneer village. And so we went to do that. But this one I expanded so that some of these pages would fold open like this. And I mean, look how little Anne is. It's just so fun to go back. This is the one that I had to go back through and re-glue with a liquid glue that would make it stronger. But we just had this fun day. Looks like I still need to do some gluing, but it was the surprise that the book would unfold, and we just had more and more to read. So that was a huge success. A great way to make a little memory album, very easy. Of course, with these, I was very careful to be very precise, unlike this one or these, you know, they just come together so quickly. But if you want it to last a while, then be very careful and very precise with your binding and your measurements. But there's so much that you can do with a simple little book. And so I hope that you enjoyed seeing that, and that maybe you'll take a try at making a little book. If you are a homeschooler, I really recommend that. I think it is just one of the funnest ways to engage children in reading. I hope you enjoyed that. And so have a day where you find something that is good, beautiful, and true, and we'll see you next time.